Всем привет! Вы на моем канале, и буквально недавно мне в голову пришла гениальная идея. Так как я готовлюсь к экзаменам по английскому языку, я решила создать новую рубрику, в которой мы вместе с вами будем заниматься чтением на английском языке и заодно изучать слова уровня C1, C2. Я думаю, будет интересно. Те, кому интересно, может вооружиться блокнотом, ручкой и чашечкой кофе или чая. Я думаю, я буду выводить текст на экран, чтобы вы видели, что я читаю. И рядом, может быть здесь, я буду писать слова, которые попадаются в этом тексте, которые вызывают больше всего трудностей. И сегодняшний текст я взяла из Марка Харрисона, третий тест. Ищу Марка Харрисона. Где Марк Харрисон? Cambridge English Advanced. Готовимся вместе с вами. Бустим ваш вокабуляр, скажем по-молодежному, и просто наслаждаемся чтением. Я буду читать текст из третьего теста, 5-е задание. В этом тексте нам рассказывается о человеке, который 30 лет не выходил за пределы нескольких улиц, который живет в Лондоне. И, наконец, он решил отправиться в путешествие. Так что, let's get started! Что-то прям даже волнительно записывать этот пилотный выпуск. Ничего, мы справимся. 30 years or so after he arrived in London, Shanu decided that it was time to see the sights. All I saw was the House of Parliament, and that was in 1979. It was a project. Much equipment was needed. Preparations were made. Shanu bought a pair of shoes which hung just below his knees. He tried them on and filled the numerous pockets with a compass, guidebook, binoculars, bottled water, map, and 2 types of disposal camera. Thus loaded, the shorts hung at mid-calf. He bought a baseball cap and wore it around the flat with the visor variously angled up and down and turned around to the back of his head. A money belt secured the shorts around his waist and preventing them from reaching his ankles. He made a list of tourist attractions and devised a star rating system that encompassed historical significance, something he termed entertainment factor and value for money. The girls would enjoy themselves. They were forewarned of this requirement. On a hot Saturday morning towards the end of July, the planning came to fruition. "I've spent more than half of my life here," said Shanu, "but I've hardly left these few streets." He stared out of the bus window at the grimy colors of Bethnal Green Road. "All this time I have been struggling, and I've barely had time to lift my head and look around." They sat at the front of the bus, on the top desk. Shanu shared the seat with Nazneen, and Shahana and Bibi sat across the aisle. Nazneen crossed her ankles and tucked her feet beneath the seat to make way for the 2 plastic carrier bags that contained their picnic. "You'll stink the bus out," Shahana had said. "I'm not sitting with you." But she had not moved away. "It's like this," said Shanu. "When you have all the time in the world to see something, you don't bother to see it. Now that we are going home, I have become a tourist." He pulled his sunglasses from his forehead onto his nose. They were part of the new equipment. He turned to the girls. "How do you like your holiday so far?" Bibi said that she liked it very well, and Shahana squinted and shuffled and leaned her head against the side window. Shanu began to hum. He danced with his head, which wobbled from side to side, and drummed out a rhythm on his thigh. The humming appeared to come from low down in his chest and melodied with the general tune of the bus, vibrating on the bus notes. Nazneen decided that she would make this day unlike any other. She would not allow this day to disappoint him. The conductor came to collect fares. He had a slow-jawed expression. Nothing could interest him. "2 at £1 and 2 children, please," said Shanu. He received his tickets. "Sightseeing," he announced, and flourished his guidebook. "Family holiday." "Right," said the conductor. He jiggled his back, looking for change. He was squashed by his job. The sailing forced him to stoop. "Can you tell me something? To your mind, does the British Museum rate more highly than the National Gallery? Or would you recommend the gallery over the museum?" The conductor pushed his lower lip out with his tongue. He stared hard at Shanu, as if considering whether to eject him from the bus. "In my rating system," explained Shanu, "they are neck and neck. It would be good to take an opinion from a local." "Where have you come from, mate?" "Oh, just 2 blocks behind," said Shanu. "But this is the first holiday for 20 or 30 years." The conductor swayed. It was still early, but the bus was hot and Nazneen could smell his sweat. He looked at Shinu's guidebook. He twisted round and looked at the girls. At a half glance, he knew everything about Nazneen, and then he shook his head and walked away. That's all for today. Thank you so much. Фух, это было очень волнительно, как будто в первый раз читала. Однако я этот текст перечитала уже раз 10 или 15. Когда делала задание по нему и сейчас, когда читала. Я надеюсь, вам очень понравилась, и эта рубрика оказалась для вас полезной и интересной. Выписывайте слова из этого текста, заучивайте их и практикуйтесь. Составляйте предложения вместе с этими словами и как-то повторяйте их в течение дня, затем в конце недели или как вам удобно, как вы учите слова. На этом у меня все. Дальше буду стараться сделать видео лучше, интереснее. У меня есть пара идей, которые я очень хочу реализовать, и я думаю, у меня получится это. Найду время, получится. Спасибо вам, что провели со мной этот уютный, почти новогодний вечер чтения. Мне было очень приятно для вас читать. Старайтесь сами читать побольше вслух. Студентам и школьникам всем хороших каникул. А у кого надвигается сессия, всем удачной сессии. Ну все, пока-пока. Идеальная идея. Нет. Ой, идеальная идея. Повторяйте их в течение дня, может быть, после. Затем в конце недели или как вы... Почти новогодний читальный вечер. Вечер чтения. 30 years or so after he arrived in London, all he saw was the sounds of... He bought a baseball cap and wore it around the flat. He bought a baseball cap and wore it around the flat with the visor variously angled and balanced. Shinu shared the seat with Nazneen, and Shahana and Bibi sat across the aisle. Nazneen crossed her ankles and tucked her feet beneath the seat to make. Nazneen crossed her ankles and tucked her feet beneath to sit. Nazneen crossed her ankles and tucked her feet beneath the seat to make way for the two plastic career bags that contained their picnic. You'll steal the out. They sat at the front of the bus on the top desk. Shinu shared the seat with Nazneen, and Shahana and Bibi sat across the aisle. Nazneen crossed her ankles and tucked her feet beneath the... Господи!